The Premier League is the richest and most watched league in the world. Yet it's become lazy, arrogant, and tactically soft. Are we really the best or just the biggest?
The morning after the night before the Champions League debacle for Premier League clubs. So we've called the emergency meeting. We've seen others doing this, so we're going to do it about the Premier League. What is happening? And was it a one-off? Is it a blip? Or is it something bigger than that? Look, I've seen respectable journalists like Henry Winter hinting at the need for a winter break. I don't think it's got anything to do with that at all. I mean, look, get rid of the FA Cup, get rid of the Carabao Cup. It might help a little bit. But a winter break where we don't get games over Christmas, come on, let's not be stupid. The reality is, we all know the footballing calendar is full. PSG have basically been playing football since August 2024, and they wiped their arse with Chelsea. Oh, they play in a better league. Well, you know, so what? I don't think it's anything to do with that. I think it's stylistically a major issue in the Premier League this season.
Mark Goldbridge discusses the poor performances of Premier League clubs in the UEFA Champions League and questions whether it is just a temporary setback or a deeper problem. He rejects the idea that the issue is caused by the lack of a winter break or a busy schedule. Instead, he argues that the real problem is the playing style and declining quality of football in the league. Goldbridge explains that while the Premier League is the biggest, richest, and most competitive league, it does not necessarily produce the highest quality football. He believes the league has become complacent and lazy, relying on its popularity and money rather than improving the style and standard of play. Premier League teams can't even create chances in Europe. We brag about depth and money, but our football is slow, restrictive, and outdated. Why are we failing abroad?
We can buy players from every other league because we're all rich, but the actual quality is poor. And we've seen it. And I'm not blaming Arteta, I'm not blaming Pulis, I'm not blaming anybody. But the reality is this season, everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody takes the same kickoff, everybody's throwing the ball long with a towel dry, and everybody's crowding the goalkeeper and fouling him. And in Europe, it doesn't transpire. It doesn't work. And without it, as we've seen, there's not a lot there. Man City didn't create chance after chance after chance. Arsenal didn't create chance after chance after chance. Liverpool didn't create chance after chance after chance. I feel that Chelsea PSG was one of those games that was a little bit strange because it looked quite equal. It was a good game of football, but defensively Chelsea got their own problems. If you don't buy players over 24, you're not going to have any experience, are you? But
Mark Goldbridge criticizes the slow flow and declining quality of Premier League games, saying the league has become lazy and arrogant. He contrasts this with leagues like the Bundesliga, where games have better atmosphere, more goals, and faster pace. He suggests simple changes that could improve the Premier League immediately. Loosen overly strict health and safety restrictions. Allow quicker free kicks, corners, and throw-ins to keep the game flowing. Encourage more attacking play to increase goals. Goldbridge emphasizes that teams like Manchester City FC, Arsenal FC, and Liverpool FC struggle to create chances in Europe because domestic tactics, e.g., slow build-ups, crowding goalkeepers, fouling, don't work internationally. He notes that Chelsea's defensive issues highlight the problem of relying on inexperienced players when clubs avoid signing players over 24. Key point: the Premier League's tactical and cultural approach limits European success, and small reforms could improve game quality immediately. English clubs are playing like they're afraid to lose. While Leverkusen and Galatasaray move the ball fast, our Premier League stars have slowed down. Is our identity disappearing?
Somebody's got to take responsibility for that because it's never been like that. I think somebody like Saka is a prime example of one of the issues. Like Saka, when he's playing fast, is a fantastic player. His whole game has slowed down this year, and that's become problematic. So, look, Arsenal could still win the Champions League, but I think they're going to have a problem because the worrying thing is all these English teams finished really, really, really well in the league stage, but now it's the knockout stage. Teams have gone up a gear. And the Premier League's sort of like been stood still, going, oh, well, we just thought we'd win it with corners. And everyone else is like, it's knockout football now, we're going to go up a level. And there's a lot of Premier League clubs that have been caught out because of it. How we solve this...
Mark Goldbridge argues that the Premier League is facing an identity crisis. While he appreciates the league's history and competitiveness, he notes that this season's football has been slower and less entertaining, even for top teams like Arsenal FC. He highlights that European opponents like Bayer 04 Leverkusen and Galatasaray SK played expansive, confident football with quick passing and clear patterns, contrasting with the pragmatic, slow approach of English teams. Players such as Bukayo Saka have also seen their games slow down this season, reflecting broader tactical issues. GoalBridge warns that while Premier League teams often finish strong in the league stage, they struggle in the knockout rounds of European competitions, where opponents elevate their intensity. He suggests the solution is speeding up the game and regaining the league's traditional high tempo and intensity. Key point: English clubs need to adapt to faster, more expansive football in Europe to remain competitive. Referees are killing the pace of our games, and the Premier League's own rules are holding us back. We're hyped as the best league, but we don't even have the best teams.
I don't think we have. We've got the best league, we haven't got the best teams, and that is a problem. Why is the best league in the world not got the best teams in the world? And that's the identity crisis that the Premier League has at the moment. And the Premier League needs to take control of this. The Premier League is not controlled by Arsenal or Man United or Man City. It's controlled by the Premier League. And their rules can change the way the football is. And the football this season isn't good enough for the hype it gives to that league. And the Premier League has to take responsibility for it. It's in charge of the officiating. It's in charge of the rules. This whole goalkeeper thing needs to stop. We need to just start giving fouls for it and go back to how it was a couple of years ago. It all started with that foul on James Trafford in the Luton game. Luton-Burnley, wasn't it?
Mark GoalBridge emphasizes that the slow pace of Premier League matches is a major issue, with too many stoppages for minor fouls, free kicks, and goal kicks. He argues that if the ball in play time increased even slightly, from 8 to 9 minutes per 10, it would create more chances, goals, and better football. He criticizes referees for slowing the game down, sometimes appearing unfit themselves, and urges stricter enforcement to keep the game moving. GoalBridge reiterates that the Premier League remains the best league in the world due to its depth, competitiveness, and European participation, not because it produces the best teams. However, he warns of an identity crisis. The league is hyped globally, but currently lacks top-level teams and quality football in Europe. He calls on the Premier League to take responsibility, control officiating, enforce rules properly, and address issues like goalkeeper fouls to restore the league's style and standard. Key point: increasing game speed, stricter officiating, and league-level reforms are needed to maintain the Premier League status and improve football quality. Game speed and chances. First things first, we got to talk about how the game is being played. In Premier League matches, the ball is in play roughly 6 minutes out of every 10. That's far too slow. If we can push it to 9 minutes, we'll see more chances, more excitement, and more goals. Teams like Liverpool and Man City need to speed up the game, or the title race could slip away without them even realizing it. The faster tempo isn't just entertainment. It directly affects who has the upper hand in crucial moments. Individual performance and defensive worries. Now, let's get to the players. Van Dijk hasn't been brilliant lately, and that's worrying for Liverpool. It's not just about one player, though. Defensive consistency is key. Take Galatasaray away, for example. If your defense is shaky in big away games, you're in trouble. Fans might blame individuals, but the system also needs to support the stars. Until that happens, we're seeing close calls that could cost points in the title race. Form players and match winners. On the brighter side, players like Ibra are in a rich vein of form. Scoring winners against tough teams like Man City shows timing, composure, and confidence. This is exactly the kind of form that can change the trajectory of a team season. Managers need to trust these players now. Don't overthink it. Don't rotate unnecessarily. When a player is clicking, let him lead the attack. These moments matter more than tactics on paper. They decide titles. Mentality and tactical adjustments. Finally, mentality. Pep Guardiola, for example, has been changing the mentality of his squad, evolving how they play and react under pressure. That's why City is so hard to beat. They adapt mid-game, they control tempo, and they never look out of fight. Teams that can adjust and respond quickly will always have a competitive edge. Liverpool and Arsenal need that kind of mentality if they want to stay alive in the race. Otherwise, well, you know what that means. Game over. Conclusion. The Premier League remains the biggest, richest, and most competitive league in the world. But this season has shown it is losing its edge in quality and identity. English teams are slow, predictable, and too cautious, especially in European competitions, where expansive, confident football exposes our tactical weaknesses. Game flow is another major issue. Refereeing, excessive stoppages, and restrictive league rules slow down matches, reducing chances and goals. Even top players like Bukayo Saka struggle when the pace drops. The league's arrogance and reliance on money have masked these problems for too long. The truth is, the Premier League doesn't consistently have the best teams in Europe, and its current style risks long-term credibility. The solution is clear. Speed up the game, enforce better officiating, and encourage tactical innovation. Only then can the Premier League reclaim its rightful status, not just as the richest league, but as a league that truly delivers top-level football on every stage. Bottom line, money and depth can't hide poor football forever. The Premier League must act now to maintain its reputation, or its European failures will continue to grow. If you want, I can also turn this into a punchy 60 to 90-second voiceover script that hits all these points with energy and controversy. Perfect for YouTube commentary. Do you want me to do that?